And now, Jabroni Studios, in association with Big Herm Productions, is proud to present to you, recording from an undisclosed location in Oakdale, Connecticut, it's Chris Burns, it's Chris Lynch, this is Dysfunction Junction.
You know, I've decided with the rest of my life, what I'd like to do is get to be about 75 years old, wear some garish suits, way too much jewelry, talk about how cool I was 65 years ago, and get blind raving drunk in an Applebee's. Then, and only then, could I say, I'm Ric Flair.
There you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
Is that what you were just watching?
And I was watching
loud at an Applebee's.
I don't know if it was an Applebee's. They didn't say the restaurant. He's blind raving drunk. He's pissing a bitch to the bartender, and then he offered $1,000 tip to the waitress. I'll give you $1,000 tip if you tell that guy right there to kiss my ass. I'm on the right. Well, I'm on the clock. Yeah, you're on the clock.
Yeah, I'm on your clock now. Kiss his ass.
I'm like, kiss his ass, and then when he leaves, we'll be like, here's $500.
That's what I'm saying. Like everybody gets $100. We're good, bro.
Right? Fuck. Oh my god, welcome. I could do it in Ric Flair style. Like, welcome to the place you're at.
Fuck yeah.
My name is Chris Burns. We are short one body tonight. Lynch is just got off the road from
He's in prison.
Florida.
He's in prison. Let's say it. He's in prison.
We didn't want to say it out loud. He paid a porn star some hush money. Yeah.
He was informed.
But we wish him great for the next 3 to 5 years. And of course, producer extraordinaire, the man with no hair, the man who I've only seen drunk as Ric Flair once in his natural born life. That is Big Herm, Michael P.S. Herman.
Hello.
We may as well start there. How long do you think this guy? Well, I already know the answer, death. But how long has he been living his gimmick? Since pretty much birth.
Well, we watched those. We watched the documentary.
Yeah.
At some point, even the children said it. At some point, the line between Ric Flair and Ric Flair was smudged.
Mm-hmm.
And he was no longer he ceased to be
he was no longer Richard Flair,
but the alter ego.
Right. He ceased being Richard Flair and became the Nature Boy.
He kind of Superman'd it.
Yeah.
Superman is a very distinct and unique superhero.
Mm-hmm.
He's the only person who is who he is. Everybody else is somebody, and their alter ego is Batman. Okay.
Right.
Superman is Superman. Okay. He cannot be anything but Superman. Superman's alter ego actually hides as a secret to who he truly is also, but in the complete opposite direction.
Correct.
He hides who he is rather than and who he really is the superhero. The normal person is a costume.
Right. And it just I look at a lot of these guys and I've done events with these guys through different avenues. With Bob Backlund, with Hulk Hogan, with Tony Atlas, and they come in and they're really nice. Hello, Cynthia. How are you in the comment section? All the way from Florida. Hope you're doing well. And I hope Richard's doing well too. I'll have to give you guys a call in a couple days. I gotta get some sleep in the next 2 days. Sleep has eluded me. But yeah, I do these events. Bob Orton couldn't be further from who Cowboy Bob Orton was on the television. I've met a lot of these guys.
He was actually a really nice guy.
He was like super nice, but the one time I met Ric Flair was at a book signing when his autobiography came out. I want to say 2005. And he was dressed to the nines. I mean, Hulk showed up at his book signing with the cutoff t-shirt, the workout pants,
the headband,
that painted on 5 o'clock shadow, the headband. Yes, the whole nine, but that's like Hulk relaxed. He's not in the red and yellow and tearing his shit off at the book signing. And I don't understand. And if we're boring you with the wrestling stuff, tough. This guy is living his gimmick. He's getting kicked out of restaurants. He's had drunken fights outside of cars years ago. He's going to live this gimmick till he dies. And death already knocked on it. Death has knocked on his door twice already. There's really not too many guys that can say, I got 3 extra chances. He's not going to get that. And I'm sure his kids, his son-in-law, from what I heard, used to produce his podcast and outright said, I'm not doing it anymore. And Conrad, I interviewed Conrad years ago. Nicer guy you couldn't met. But yeah, it's got to be to live, whether you're the son, the wife, who I guess he's on wife number 6 now. Not that means anything. I know people who have been married 4 or 5 times, 6 times, 7 times that they find their one at the end of that run. You know what I mean? That's a pun. I didn't even know it. But man, this is sad because I grew up just loving the character of Ric Flair. He was better than you. He looked better than you. He could get in there and show you he's better than you. It's all a work. It's all a stage. I get it. But that character drew you in. You had to love Ric Flair. Do you think he's still living in that era? Cynthia says, yes. I think in Ric Flair's mind, it is still 1985, and him and Dusty are going to tear it up at the Omni Saturday night in the cage. Absolutely. And the sad truth of the matter is the man is 75 years old. What are you doing getting shit raving drunk during the day at this little restaurant?
Hey, when you have his money, day drinking is classy. Just saying.
Ric Flair doesn't even have Ric Flair's money. He had to make it back after losing it all.
The difference between day drinking being classy and day drinking being shameful is about $60,000 a year. I'm just saying.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. I could day drink when I'm on vacation. There's been times at 10 a.m. I'll crack a beer. Okay,
but saying, no.
Yeah, but I'm not out at the local watering hole tripping over myself, calling people dickhead and offering $1,000 tip. I'll give you $1,000 if you tell that guy to kiss my ass. And as Herm and I were like, all right, kiss his ass. We're splitting that grand, me and Herm. Yeah. Gransky to tell this guy to kiss his ass. I'm done right there. Oh, it breaks my heart because there were baseball players that did that. Mickey Mantle lived his gimmick was I'm this corn-fed country boy until all the truth came out. He was a drinker and a carouser. And to the day he died, he was the drinker and the carouser. And his liver said, fuck you, I'm out.
This is true.
It is all about the money, Cynthia. You're absolutely correct. Cynthia's lighting up the comment section today. I loves it. So it's like Ric Flair sees himself, and as much as I hate to correlate the two, because one is a really talented performer and the other one may end up being our next president again. Ric Flair sees himself as like Donald Trump, but Donald Trump doesn't have a drinking problem. 6 different IRS problems. He's had 5 or 6.
Oh,
but
he's got at least that many IRS
problems. Probably. But you never get headlines. You know, Trump gets drunk at Applebee's, or Trump gets in a brawl outside of a car because somebody cut him off in traffic. Dude, stop. You got X amount of years left to go. You're done. You can't be this guy forever. No matter how much it hurts my feelings to say that. But let's point. You were just talking earlier in the group chat about your John Elway helmet. And what's going to happen when John Elway passes and the worth of this thing. Look at a guy like John Elway. Look at a guy like his partner in the now defunct Arena Football League, John Bon Jovi. Look at guys that lived their life classy, semi-classy anyway, and now they're in their twilight years, and they're not causing a scene every 35 seconds. Say what you want about Gene Simmons, and I have said a lot about Gene Simmons. There's a guy who's 75 years old, and all he wants to do is make more money, and when he dies, he's going to give it all to his kids and his wife. He will shill his face, that band, that brand name, and make every dollar he can, and he knows he can't take it with him. I feel so bad, and I know I'm beating a dead horse now, or an almost dead horse. I feel so bad that Ric Flair is the man we grew up loving. If you loved his performance, that just never stopped being 21 years old.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. That was basically the entire point behind that documentary.
See, I took something different away. By the end of that documentary, I thought maybe he's figured it out. Maybe he's, classed himself up. Maybe seeing this on the screen will be a wake up call. I'd bet you dollars to donuts he's never watched that documentary.
Oh, probably not.
It's like they say about politicians. Politicians who write books do not read the books that they write. Couldn't tell you word one inside it. But it is what it is. You got anything you want to talk about before we dig deeper inside the Ric Flair rabbit hole?
No, I mean, it was the week we had. Let's see. President made a halfway decent speech today at the Holocaust Memorial Remembrance Day.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking, we're back on this Speaker of the House vote to remove bullshit.
There's another group of people that can't grow up.
That I gotta be honest. I think it's a reason. Like you can't do anything, and you're not allowed to. Apparently, you're not allowed to work with the other side to get things done. I really think the goal of this, I'm starting to believe it now. The reason they have it in place is that it stalls everything. Yes, it's a pain in the ass and we look bad, but like every 3-4 months, we just pull the fucking e-brake.
It's like the kid setting a fire in the kitchen to get away from catching the whooping for breaking the cookie jar.
Yeah, like it's not even that. There's not even a whooping. It's literally. It seems like the only thing they want to do is slow things down, because apparently nobody wants anybody to work with each other over there.
Oh, it's terrible. Lynch is in the comment section telling us what he wants for dinner tonight.
Homos.
That's what you get, Starbucks boy.
Ciabatta bread. I don't know when. I don't know when the line got drawn, but somewhere along the line, there's a separation from. We both think differently, but we're trying to work towards a goal. And it stopped being that, and it started being only what we think is right is all you're allowed to be fighting for. We don't work with those assholes. And if you do something that actually is beneficial towards moving the ball or the wheel forward, we're gonna pop your tire. I don't understand this. I mean, it's not beneficial to the system. It's only more divisive. I can't think of any other reason why you'd have it than to be disruptive and divisive.
It is, and that's all it is. It's dick waving at its finest. We want what we want. Well, we want what we want.
With a hair across their ass to have power to stop the whole machine.
Mm-hmm. I can't ignore this comment from Lynch. Before you look at it, what are the 6 words you don't want to get texted to you while you're on vacation? I owe you a toilet seat. I broke Lynch's toilet seat. It's not my fault. It was the cheapest, flimsiest toilet seat ever. It is my fault that I lost my balance and thought, oh, I'll just fall ass first onto the toilet seat. No, I damn near killed myself. I think he bought this thing at Dollar Tree. Him and John Hunter Nemechek and the whole Dollar Tree gang. But you got a good toilet seat coming. I ordered it today. So, color white. We have a white toilet seat. Were you fucking breakdancing? Dude, I already explained this. Shut up. And I'll explain it when you're on the show. Sit down and enjoy your Starbucks, ciabatta bread, gimmick box, Jones. Yeah, the political thing to me drives me nuts in the way that it's not only in the halls of Congress, it's worked its way all the way down to just regular folks like you and me. Name an issue, any issue, in front of someone who has an opposite ideology from you or an opposite political standing from you. You know, I don't think men should go in women's bathrooms, no matter how you identify. Oh, you're a bigot. No, I think that if you're a female and your bones and your biology says female, how you live your life behind closed doors is none of my fucking concern. You're in a public space. There are rules that apply to you in a public space. Herm cannot walk into Target without pants. Well, he could, but someone's going to give him shit and he may get himself arrested. So there's always a line of delineation on the topics. You have those that are just going to defend everything, like the young man who won the girls track meet competition and broke all the records, and people are saying, "Oh, how courageous!" and how courageous is it for a big beefy guy to beat up on girls? Come on now. There has to be a line. We've grown up in a world, and this is no joke, where a woman can slap the shit out of a man. Nothing gets done. If a man slaps shit out of a woman, you're spending the night in silver bracelets in the back of a car on your way to a holding cell until you can get arraigned tomorrow. There has to be a line. Look, the albino gorilla is doing his weekly Target shopping. Fucking Lynch. Hey, if you're going to comment, why don't you just jump on the fucking show, dude? Join us, please. But it's gone down to everyday life. The climate change people don't understand that that's kind of what climate means. A climate changes. You can live in a warm climate, it gets cold. You can live in a cold climate, it gets warm. The climate change you're talking about is so incremental, so fractional, that it will take another 1,500 years before this threat that they all say is happening comes to our communities, and we'll all be dead, so it doesn't matter. The people that think that America is putting out so much carbon emission when the top two who account for 60% of the world's pollution is India and China. Oh no, but we want to switch you all to electric cars, which is then going to require a whole lot of stuff that basically already runs our electricity. And if you think your bills are high now, good luck. Fuck it. Let's see. The issue is they have not lived in our shoes. Go ahead.
I could totally advocate for an electric car. Like, if any one of us is going to advocate for an electric car, it's me.
I'd like to hear it.
Well, I have full solar.
Okay, so that makes sense.
So technically, I mean, even if I'm, regardless of whether or not it's good or bad, for the environment, because there's good and bad on both sides of that coin.
Yes, it is.
Financially, given that I drive 50 to 60 miles to work a week total, you know what I mean? Like, what's my 80 miles a week. I have full solar on the house. Sure, could I save a shitload of money? I probably could, but I need my car to do other things. I need my car to not be tied down to taking a trip and not planning my trip, but planning my trip from A to B, but planning my trip from A to nearest charging station within radius to nearest charging station within radius. Because I've watched a couple of people that I know. A friend of mine owns a Rivian, an R1, the truck.
Mm-hmm.
Loved it, got excited, went on a trip with it, but discovered when he went on a trip from Texas to Garden of the Gods here in Colorado that, unlike the car, he couldn't just plan a straight trip. He had to go 20 miles out of his way here to find a charging port. 10 miles out of his way off the path there. But then when he got there, it wasn't quick chargers. So now it was like 7 hours to charge your car. The infrastructure is not there, and that's what I think people who are using the car for more than driving maybe 100 miles at a shot are discovering. The infrastructure isn't there to make a direct route. You have to zigzag back and forth along the line to your route to find some place to charge your car.
Yeah, what used to take 6 hours now takes a day and a half.
Right. You know what I mean? His trip was like a half a day or so longer than expected.
Yeah.
Because of the charging thing.
Now, you take a regular acid core battery. I think it's still acid core that all of us use in our regular ass vehicles. Your battery goes down. What are we putting out? $1.50, $1.60 for a battery. One of these electric batteries costs upwards of $15,000 at the lowest price point. But yeah, that's gonna save all of us. Let's just keep digging more lithium and all that other bullshit. And you're worried about fossil fuels. How much lithium is there? We don't know. It's not something you can mass produce on a production line. Hey, I made lithium today. Come on now. What else you got?
What else happened this week?
I drove by Wesleyan University the other day. I got to tell you about this. We talked about it the last couple of weeks. I realize now that could you imagine deliveries on a plug-in putt-putt? Absolutely not. I can't imagine living my life with a plug-in electric car because I am always in a fucking car.
Deliveries? What kind of deliveries?
Oh, my deliveries at work that I do for the company.
Oh, I mean, what's your average daily run when you're doing deliveries?
There is no such thing as an average daily run. However, I could do 100, 200 miles a day.
That's actually, those numbers are well within. Are numbers like that are well within.
Okay.
An electric car. I'm just saying, 200-300 miles a day is somewhere around the max for those vehicles. But yeah, it is.
Yeah, but heaven forbid I had a heavier day.
No, I understand that.
Now I'm stuck.
Then that's the reason for, and I can see that's the reason becomes the reason for a hybrid.
Right. I'm going to blow.
For me, would be your best.
Oh, hybrid's perfect.
It would get me to work and back all week with plugging into the house, and then longer trips to like something to Denver or Colorado Springs. That becomes a gas.
Yes.
But, you know what I mean? But
I have no issue with hybrids.
I mean, I don't buy gas frequently now. Like Jen asked me, "Have you seen the price of gas?" And I'm like, "No, why?" She's like, "Apparently it went up a few cents." And I was like, "I buy gas once a month, babe. Like I don't pay attention to the price of gas, even when I pump the gas. You know what I mean? Like I literally buy gas once a month for the car." So
I can understand that.
I have no idea what the fuck gas prices are doing because I'm not watching them every fucking day.
Well, aren't you fucking special?
So
again, we talk about how, some people are just too stupid to get out of their own way. I saw a sign across the front of a dorm building at Wesleyan University when I was traipsing through Middletown the other day. And it is a large, like dull, king-size bed sheet size, and spray painted onto it were the words "Free Gaza." Does anybody want to tell these people what happened 21 years ago with the Abraham Accords, or do we want to keep letting them live their lives in abject stupidity? Gaza's already free. The only thing that's not free about Gaza is they're run by a terrorist organization that is Iranian-backed. Gaza's already free. Israel has not launched a unprovoked attack in over 21 years. Every attack that Israel has launched has been a counterattack to them being attacked. There's a reason the Iron Dome works, and Israel has not suffered many damages. Free Gaza. You may as well put something out there that says, "I am Hamas." These are the same people that say, Queers for Palestine. You know what they do to queers in Palestine? They throw them off a building or they throw them in jail. You know how women are treated in Palestine? Go ahead, feminists. Keep going. None of you are smart enough to get out of your own way. And for that, you deserve every bit of laughter that folks like me, folks like Herm, and folks like the general public give. You mentioned the speech the president gave.
Mm.
And I went out of my way to find it because you said it was only short, 10 minutes. I did find the entire speech. And for the first time in a long time, he did. He sounded sharp.
Dude, I am not a Biden supporter in any way, shape, or the form. I'm not a Trump supporter either.
Right.
I just know what I've seen. He looked sharp.
He sounded sharp too.
He spoke sharp. I thought it was I thought it was an excellent speech, and I thought it was an excellent outing for him.
Let me ask you a question because it's May, and we all know the election's in November. Is it too little too late at this point? Or has he lost, he's lost so many approval points over the last year and a half. And his stance on Israel and Hamas has been lukewarm at best until today.
I was just going to say, and also today, he basically put his fucking foot down and said, we support Israel. You guys can kind of relax a little because we're supporting Israel. And that's just how it has to work. Our country requires that connection because it's strategically a spot that we require in the Middle East.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So like it or love it. I'm sorry you don't like the health plan that the company has chosen to allow you guys to sign up for or not, but that's the option. And that's what it is. You don't have to like the health plan. You only have to choose that whether to be a part of it or not. And that's the option you're given. This is your health plan. And that's how it works.
Right.
This is the health plan for the United States. We need this because of who we are and that point in the Middle East. And this is how we stand. And he was kind of very upfront and very firm about it, but not in an insightful way as far as inciting, not like insight as in like he had a lot of insight in that issue, more like insightful of raising the temperature and provoking.
One of the things that, and I keep going back to these, moron college kids. I don't know how many dumb kids these days are in college. I think all of them. Can't say for sure. Hamas and the Palestine regime perpetrated the largest terrorist attack since 9/11. Now, if you think about it, and let's be logical here. Hamas is an Iranian-backed organization. Who else was an Iranian-backed organization? Al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda flies planes into our country, knocks down buildings, kills 3,000 people. Everybody's up in arms. We're all back together again. Those were fantastic times. Yes, did it suck that people had to die? Yes, absolutely. I've been to the memorials. They're just absolutely heartbreaking. But America was back together again. But Hamas does this, flies in on a religious weekend for the Jewish people, kills 1,300 people, takes 200 hostages, goes into that open air music festival. We did a show about it, and we were angry. We're not even Jewish. We're not Israeli. We have no connection to that side of the world, but we know what atrocity looks like. And it was an atrocity. These college kids are basically waving the flag and cheering for the aggressor rather than the oppressed. And it sickens me to death because these are supposed to be tomorrow's leaders. Let's see how far your gender studies thing gets.
That's the issue. Is unfortunately, the people that they're as college kids are kind of confused. I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think the people of Gaza are also oppressed. Okay. The problem is the way that everything was all set up and the way that the governing body came in. Unfortunately, it's more of a dictatorship regime style. So unfortunately, the people that were snowed when the election shit happened and who they made their representatives, unfortunately, they got fucked over too. Now, the problem is, it's not the people, it's not the Palestinian people per se that I really have a problem with. I don't have a problem with anybody just trying to live their life. I
Correct.
do have a problem, unfortunately, with the people that are in charge. Very similar to, you know, any shitty third world African country. You've got a dictator who was elected, and it's basically just it's horrible. It's all about the leader and his cronies making money and having what they want. So you've got two fucked up groups, but the kids, while feeling, and I can understand their empathy and their sympathy for the people of Gaza, unfortunately, supporting those people the way you are supporting them is supporting all of the things that Hamas is saying.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now it's and now you've chosen a side. You've decided to take the Palestinian side, which is very much similar to Russia. Like I'm sure if you ask anybody down there, that nobody's going to say shit because they're going to get fucking shot if they do. The kids only see oppression when the big guy beats up on a little guy. The problem is the kids aren't paying attention to when the little guy walked over while the big guy was just drinking his beer and the little guy smacked him in the head with a fucking shovel. They're that same people in the bar when the little guy wants to pick on Herm. And then when Herm has to beat the living shit out of him because Herm was just trying to drink his fucking beer, now other people in the bar are seeing that part of it, and they're only seeing Herm beat this asshole into a fucking biscuit. And
Or flip a pool table.
That's the situation. Nobody was paying attention when the guy hit me in the head with a bottle. They only saw me get mad after I got hit in the head with a bottle.
They didn't see the action. They saw the reaction.
Right. And that's what now they're protesting, you know, oh, the big guy beat up the little guy. And that's not really what happened. And they won't listen to anybody who was like, no, actually the guy hit him first. No, I saw it. He beat that little guy up.
No, you didn't see shit.
That's exactly what the college kids are doing, which I'm okay with right now, because let them protest, because they're protesting this war has shut them up on the trans front lately. So keep it up.
But 2 words for you. For now.
Well, that's my theory. As long as there's a war involved, we don't have to hear about that shit.
Who did we miss in the comment section? Lisa, we didn't say hi to Lisa yet. Hi, Lisa. How are you? Hello, JR. How are you? Cynthia,
and to answer your question, yes, it does account for gross weight. Given that that EV delivery trucks and EV vehicles like that designed for transportation of goods, they are calculated for max potential use for their length. So yeah, like 200, 300, 400 miles would be with a full load.
And now you know.
I looked it up a couple of spots.
I figured. No, worry about that. Did you happen to hear about the roast of Tom Brady on Netflix?
I did not see it. I did. I've seen some. I got to be honest. Fucking brilliant move. Look, besides the fact that most of the comedians on there already have deals with Netflix, so it made it really easy to get them all in. unlike the Comedy Central roasts,
This one
they
was more
allowed
subversive.
well, it was Netflix, so you had to worry about no editing, no there's you can't say these 7 words. You had none of that, and it was, they let the comedians be comedians, and they let the sports people and the athletes be athletes.
Right.
All right. And Tom Brady, look, they should have just given me the 20 million and I would have told them I did it. I have seen pieces of it, but exquisitely done. I think basically this is the way they should be done from now on. Nobody owns roasts, the concept. It's been going on. We remember the Dean Martin roasts.
The Dean Martin roast, yeah.
And that's what that roast last night was more. I felt was closer to that. Even though the language was harsher, I felt it was more. It was guys truly fucking with each other for the joke and to fuck with each other. The way that those, Don Rickles, Dean Martin, those guys used to go hard in the paint on those things.
Oh yeah, but the joke back then always served the purpose of it's a joke. Some of those Comedy Central roasts. Do you ever watch the one on Flavor Flav?
Right.
Oh my God, these guys were going for the jugular, and it wasn't. It was funny, but you laughed and you kind of had that nervous laugh. I think it was Adam Carolla was up there roasting Flavor Flav, and he said Chris Benoit is a better father than you. Now, keep in mind, this is 7 weeks after the Chris Benoit murder-suicide.
Right.
And it's like, dude.
The jokes last night went truly for the jokes.
Yeah. You took a real-world issue, Robert Kraft getting a rub and tug, Aaron Hernandez killing himself in jail. And aiming it at Tom, they aimed it at the people. Kevin, the stool that Aaron Hernandez kicked out from underneath him was smaller than the one Kevin.
Was smaller than the one that Kevin Hart needed to stand on the thing.
Right. The only reason Kevin Hart is hosting this,
Bill Belichick's secretly. What is it? Bill Belichick secretly videoed more dudes than Diddy has.
Yep. What was the other one? The reason they asked Kevin Hart to host this is because Tom Brady's afraid of giants. That was good. They had the tweet from Eli. They asked me to be Eli Manning. They asked me to be a part of tonight's festivities, but I didn't think it was fair to roast Tom Brady 3 times in a lifetime. Yeah, I was like, damn.
It was the thing. They let all those athletes be athletes with each other. And they were, I'm sure it's just like any of us at work. They roast each other and fuck with each other on a friend level. But there it was. But they let the athletes do it the way the athletes do it, and the comedians went hard. And it was, it was good shit. Just the little bits that I've seen.
I've only seen bits and pieces as well. I want to watch it before next week and have a good time with it. But yeah. The only thing that I want to take a swat at Tom Brady for was when Jeff Ross made the rub and tug joke about Robert Kraft, and Tom Brady got up out of his seat and walked over and said, "Please don't say that shit again." And it was audible on microphone. It's like, you can say what you want about me, but you leave Mr. Kraft out of this. Then they pan to Robert Kraft, and he is laughing along with the joke.
Right.
So, Tom Brady got a little burn in his skirt.
Yeah, but I'm wondering if that wasn't scripted either, though.
Maybe.
You know what I mean? It seems like a good. Please don't say that.
That could be. That could certainly be.
Because the guy with the, I forget his name, but he made the joke about, secretly filming and all that, and Tom was laughing with it. So I don't know. It could have been real, but I don't know.
Maybe. But again, to your point, and I couldn't agree with you more, this was very reminiscent of, this isn't a get off my lawn moment, people. This is real world. It was reminiscent of the old Dean Martin roasts. where they poked fun on you on the square. They weren't making shitty jokes for the sake of the laugh or the rating or what have you, or because they don't have any other material otherwise. But
No,
yeah,
I thought what I've seen was excellent. I want to see the whole thing in its entirety.
same here, and
Sure,
it buries the Comedy Central roast, which you can get the unedited versions on the Comedy Central app. Not that I'm shilling, but I actually stopped watching them because it was less about getting the joke in about like the roast of Bob Saget, which was good, but it became let's fuck with everybody on the panel. And then when we get to Bob Saget, I have 3 minutes left in my bit. No, get your quick hits on everybody involved, and then
right,
take
and then do 5 minutes on Bob.
Right. But they didn't do that in previous ones. I watched the roast of Donald Trump, the roast of Gene Simmons, the roast of Bob Saget, the roast of Pamela Anderson. All they did was make Tommy Lee dick jokes for an hour and a half.
Right.
Like, yeah, we know. Probably everybody in the free fucking world has seen that video. We all know Tommy Lee is swinging a newborn in his pants. Leave it alone. What else do we have to know about Tommy fucking Lee? And whoever made that joke in the Pamela Anderson roast about hepatitis should be slapped in the face. Just let it go. It's Kid Rock's fault, not hers.
Right.
She didn't give her.
Everything I've seen looked really, really good. So I am very much looking forward to watching the whole fucking thing.
Right. Now, just to show that we are not feminist hating jackasses, I'm switching gears because we're not going to get time to talk about this Wednesday night on the Speedway Review, which you guys should all be watching. And if you're not watching, tell a friend who likes NASCAR. They should watch a Speedway Review, 7:30. We're announcing 7:30 on Wednesdays. We're announcing a new contest tomorrow that runs until July 1. You could be our big winner. What are you going to win? Only one way to find out. Tomorrow night, 7:30. So you guys know out there, we have the Dysfunction Junction guys in one group chat, have the Speedway guys in another. I sent out a picture today of a female driver named Natalie Decker. She's okay. She's not lighting the world on fire. I don't think she deserves to be on the series that she's running in, but for whatever reason, she's getting paid. And she got a new sponsor, Walmart and Bikini Zone, which is basically do-it-yourself coochie wax.
Coochie cream.
Right. It's Nair for the nether regions. And Herm brought up a really good point, and I kind of want to expand on it here because I think we can do it better here than there tomorrow night. You brought up a fantastic point, similar, I'll just let you run with it. Do you need a refresher?
No, I mean, all I said was they should just do a legitimate female-only league with female-only geared sponsors.
And female-only drivers.
Right.
So what that does is you can pick and choose, you can have them all run, same cars, same body style, same everything as, let's just use the lower series as a jump off point. Pick one. You can pick trucks, you can pick ARCA, you can pick Xfinity. Hell, you could pick modifieds. Whatever. If Herm is the president of the Professional Ladies Racing Association, what's the style of car we're going to use?
I don't know. I mean, let's just say we're taking an Xfinity car.
Okay, we're taking the Xfinity car. Steel body, 5 lugs, X amount of horsepower, still a fast race car. Now you have a field, and there are enough. We've talked to enough of them, Herm, you and I, and others that have done the Speedway show, to some really good female drivers along the way. Logan Misaraka, Stephanie Moyer, Lacey Furno, the list goes on, that you could put in those cars, give them exposure, and see, okay, who's got the sauce and who doesn't. Keep it exclusive and move them up like a feeder system to the truck series, the Xfinity series. The problem is, and this goes back to when Emma was little, and she would watch the races with me, and unfortunately, the only female there was to watch was Danica Patrick, who wrecked everything but the flag stand and the hot dog vendor And she asked me, "Daddy, how come there aren't that many girls in racing?" I'm like, "Oh, Em, there's plenty of girls in racing. You can go to Waterford. You can go here. You can go here." She goes, "No. How come there's not enough girls in racing on TV?" I socked it away. Didn't think about it again, but what a good question, out of the mouths of babes, right? What if? I think it would be great. See, that's where we go wrong here because then we're going to pigeonhole and somebody's going to be like, "Oh, so men don't use Dawn dish detergent?" Yeah, they do. Brendan Jones has it on his car every other Sunday. Oh, females are the only one that use Tide. No, Tide is on like 6
No,
different
no, no,
cars.
no, 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 no. That's not no.
But that's where we have to clarify.
Well, that's where you have to go. No, we would be dealing with something that is feminine hygiene products. Literally, any of those. Any health, beauty, lotion, makeup. You can't tell me that an oil of Olay car wouldn't be a thing. A Maybelline car. We're plenty of sponsors that pick whatever you whatever you want. It's literally for the purposes of advertising to specifically women at large in the group and things that they're interested in. Put a fucking Stanley Cup commercial in there. I don't know what I'm being a dick there, but these are things you know what I mean? But like makeup, skincare, no, you couldn't put like Dawn dish detergent, but you totally could put Dove soap. So we see the commercials every day that are specifically products for women. There's no reason you couldn't find those people and have them put money on cars.
What's the name of that company that makes the bras for larger chested women?
Any of that shit, you know what I mean? It'd be any of that shit, like Lane Bryant would as
Zoe is the name of it.
Right, so you know what I mean? Playtex, any of those, because would it be different to have a Playtex car versus a Hanes car?
Right.
Why is it a Hanes? So see what I mean? Like Hanes is underwear, and Hanes only started doing female underwear after they sold a shitload of men's underwear. But so you know what I mean? So underwear is underwear. It doesn't really matter. There's plenty of, non disrespectful things to advertise. No, we're not advertising dish soap. We're not advertising, vacuum cleaners. We're not doing that shit. We're not trying to
they already had a Dirt Devil car back in the day.
You know what I mean? Like you're not trying to sell vacuum cleaners. We're not trying to sell, there's better ways to do it, guys. Of course there is. I'm not a misogynistic fuck. It's just geared towards,
Understood.
Pull your sponsors together, pull your shit together.
And it makes sense on so many levels to have a league like that because you have, and I'm talking about serious professional leagues. The WNBA is, by all accounts, a serious professional league. We're not talking about the lingerie football league. Okay. We're not talking about anything like that. There are serious MMA female fighters. Ronda Rousey, Shayna Baszler, there's Misha Tate. There's been so many awesome female fighters that, they created their own division. They're not mixing divisions. You can mix divisions in a sport like NASCAR because you're separated by a 2,500-pound vehicle. A woman and a man driving is just a difference of who's sitting in the seat and what do they have in their undercarriage versus the undercarriage of the car. I've seen some great female race car drivers that do wonderful things, and I've seen Danica Patrick. I love the idea, which I think could be a wonderful, fantastic thing.
Yeah, I mean, it would definitely be a great thing to give it a shot. The only problem is you run the risk of being the WNBA of racing.
Yeah, where would the funding come from? I see what you're saying. Unless it ended up being like an SRX or an IROC where we give you the cars. Here you go.
Not that. It's that I feel, racing fans will kind of watch anything. Like they'd watch guys run push mowers through a field around it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there
Like
are some hardcores like
racing's
that.
racing, and you'd have some crossover. You'd get crossover, but you have to have what the WNBA lacks, and that is female support.
Yeah, you've been to a WNBA NBA? Blah, 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 easy for me to say. You've been to
Yeah,
the
I have.
WNBA?
I've been to a Sun game,
Yeah,
but going to a Sun game gives you a very false idea of what a WNBA game looks like and what the
correct.
stands look like. It's very slanted. The literally the three tiny little towns around that casino are such a presence.
Yeah, because you can go 20 minutes. You can go 20 minutes this way and see a Sun game, or you can go 20 minutes this way before the Sun season even starts and go see a UConn game. And UConn is a basketball powerhouse, women and men. Men are the national champions this year.
Mm-hmm.
So there's always good, if you're a fan of basketball, men or women, there's always good basketball within arm's reach. You could go an hour and a half this way and see the Celtics, or you can go 2 hours this way and see the Knicks. But for the female basketball enthusiast, you got UConn. Back in the day, there was URI right up the road here in Providence, and we are from obviously us being originally from Connecticut. Herm is now in Colorado. There is there's enough sport to go around in the basketball world. Baseball, a little different. Hockey, oh my God, this area is flooded with hockey, but there's no female hockey league. There is a female hockey league somewhere, I am told, but I don't know where it is, and it doesn't come around here. Providence College has the only female hockey team that I know of that I've ever watched live in the stands. They did a doubleheader. PC Friars women went against Vermont, and then after an hour intermission and they Zamboni the shit out of everything, it was PC Friars against Boston College as the nightcap. The girls' hockey was tremendous. Oh my God, they were vicious. These guys are trying to look good and yada yada. These girls were beating the piss out of each other. But it's good, and if you can do that, there has to be two things, like you said. One, there has to be enough support for it. If you want to do it like IROC, here are your cars. We're building them. We're supplying them. Take them out. If you wreck them, you're fucked. And
Right.
Two, there has to be, like you said, there has to be eyes on the product. The Connecticut Sun is an anomaly of the WNBA world because if they play, say, 20 home games, they damn near sell out every single time.
Every game.
If you go to the Indiana Fever or the New York Liberty or elsewhere, the New York Liberty plays in Madison Square fucking Garden. That house seats for a basketball game just over 19,000. They're pulling in 4,000 or 5,000 people.
I was going to say they're running 25-30% of capacity.
Right. And people bitch about, well, why aren't the WNBA girls getting paid as much as the NBA guys? Well, they're getting paid better based on,
and it's expensive, and you guys don't fill it.
Right. And if you go and you do the metric based on the income versus the payout, they're actually getting paid better. It's just not, the problem is in the sauce.
Go watch a Brooklyn a Brooklyn game and see what the fucking venue looks like.
Oh yeah, during the Nets game, they're jacked to the gills.
They're crazy.
I've been to Knicks games at MSG, packed to the gills.
To capacity, like they had to shut it down. They had nobody could come in after it.
Yeah.
Done.
When the Celtics used to do the 1-1, they'd play the same opponent twice, once at the Garden in Boston, and they'd play once at the Hartford Civic Center because they had this agreement with each other. This is years ago. Again, packed to the ass. You couldn't get another person in with Vaseline and a shoehorn. Do the same with a WNBA game, and anywhere but Mohegan Sun Arena, you're not going to get the same results.
Yeah, because what's that arena hold?
Mohegan Sun, just under 10,000.
See what I mean? And it's packed every fucking home game.
To the gills.
Every fucking home game. It's not like there's 4,000 there. There's 9,800 people there.
Yeah, and they are among all metrics. I've read this in the past. They have the most season ticket holders. Yes. They have the most. It's like the second tier down. There's the season ticket every game.
It's what's considered a box seat.
Yeah, like a booster. Here's my. I got an 8 to 12 game package.
Yes.
And
you can spend them any way you want. There is no game. It's just you get 8 tickets, spend them anywhere you want.
Right. And the beauty of it is having worked there since I did work there when the Sun was first incepted up till about 2008 when I left. The walk up on those games. Whoop, hold on. I just lost my light. Fuck the light. You get me as I am. I'll get it in a minute. The walk up on those games, if they have 1,000 seats left, they're not there. When it's over, they are bought right there walking up, like the last minute. Hey, let's go see if there's any tickets to the Suns game. This is before Ticketmaster took over everything.
Yeah, and there's right.
I can still hear you. I'm keeping the cans on.
Right, like you can be in the casino and be like, oh, let's see if just stop at a box office.
Right.
Just literal walk-ups, not just yes.
Anything
left for the game tonight? Yeah, we got some nosebleeders. I'll take them. You got 2?
We'll take them.
We'll take them. And they're usually kind of cheap, just because so they can say they have a completely sold out stadium, and yeah.
Oh yeah, and again, in that arena that they have, it's one of the few arenas where I can honestly say, and I've been to arenas all over the country for concerts, basketball, wrestling, hockey. Mohegan Sun Arena does not have a bad seat.
Only if they only have bad seats if you get a performer that's performing at an end, and they still sell seats behind the stage.
Yeah, those are a bit of a
bitch. There isn't a bad sounding seat for a concert anywhere in the building.
Right. It's not like I've seen. Okay, I'll use Kiss as the example. I saw Kiss at Madison Square Garden 3 times in my life. I saw Kiss at Mohegan Sun 3 times in my life. I don't know what Mohegan Sun does differently, but that wiring, that it's like the big wiring. I call it the wiring tornado that goes up to the ceiling at Madison Square Garden. If you get one of those back end seats,
right,
you're kind of ducking around this wiring tornado. Mohegan Sun doesn't have that.
It's the snake. It's the wiring snake up to the system. No, Mohegan Sun doesn't have that. There's nothing rising above the stage other than the stage that they want other than however they want it blocked off.
Right. And there was one show I saw there. I can't remember who it was. I think it was Journey, where we got one of those side seats where instead of staring at the band, you're kind of watching
from the side.
Yeah, and the house lights go down. Yeah, the house lights went down. You know it's time. Certain things lit up on the stage, and we watched the band walk from backstage, go up the stairs, and come out the back end. And it was kind of a cool little experience. It was kind of neat. But, never have I gone to a show there, or I've been to one basketball game there. I saw their arena football team for that half an hour they were there. But yeah, hell of a building. And if other markets, Indiana, New York, Phoenix, what have you, could step up and put the same amount of asses in the seats into their buildings, we may have a different conversation down the road.
Yeah, I mean, they've got to have the support. And without it, they can't go anywhere.
Right. And there's also, and I don't know how these other buildings work, there's also the sellout mentality, which is, I watched whatever sporting event. They weren't sold out. Well, there's only 2 sports that offer all of their tickets up front. 3, sorry, and that's the big 3: NBA, MLB, NFL. All the tickets are on sale. There's no wiggle room. Hockey has a tremendous walk-up, but they put like 80% of their tickets on sale. Now, if you only offer 80% seating and you sell 80%, guess what you've done? You've sold out. Everything after that is ancillary income. The NASCAR, they put 100% seating out for the Cup Series. Xfinity and Truck, they don't. But if you put out 30,000 tickets for sale and you sell 30,000 tickets, you've sold every available seat you've offered, you have sold out. And that's just a business model because, again, it goes back to the WNBA. If the New York Knicks sell out every night, but the Liberty doesn't, if you're only offering 5,500 seats and you sell 5,500 seats, you have just achieved a sellout. It's about seats offered versus, let's go with Herm on the cooking thing. If Herm says, if I sell 200 pulled pork sandwiches, and that's basically what I'm telling people, I am offering 200 pulled pork sandwiches, and he finally sells 200, but he knows he has extra, he can make 50 more. That's ancillary income. He's made his nut. He can consider that a sellout. That's how that works. It doesn't make it right. I know what you're doing. You're like, well, but I mean, you're never going to see, and I'll say this, you're never going to see 80,000 people at an XFL game, but you'll see 80,000 people at an NFL game. It's about how much you're putting out to the public to buy.
No, I understand that, but it's the holdback for the walk-ups that selling out used to mean you sold all of the pre-sales and you sold all of your walk-ups and you filled the place to capacity.
Mm-hmm.
It's changed, and now we sold all of the tickets we had available online with a reserve.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand what they're saying. I understand where you're coming from, but it's two kind of schools of thought, and the thought on it has changed over time. I still think a sellout crowd is a full fucking building.
Yeah, shoulder to shoulder, asshole to elbow. Yeah, absolutely. That's what I look at.
If I only offer 10 tickets and I sell all 10, we sold out. Nigga, you only had 3 tickets available for sale.
Who's playing? Foghat?
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we sold out 24 tickets. We sold out. No, you a sellout, all right.
I got to tell you this story. This is way back when I was dating my ex-wife at the time. And my friend Brittany, who now plays with the 80s rock band Jaded and is doing real well for herself. Her band at the time, Jaded, she plays with Vixen, sorry. Jaded was her old band. Jaded was on the bill. A couple really awesome local bands were on the bill, and the headliner was Winger. Now, I had seen Winger with Kiss back in 1861. I thought, oh, wow, I'd go see Winger again. They put on a hell of a show. They always sound great. Whatever. We had our tickets early because Brittany put them at will call. And we get up to the box office, and it said sold out. And we walked inside, and Herm, this club, 3,000 people, easily. It was tight with the best time until the last set change when Winger came out. If there were 300 people left, if I'm Kip Winger up on that stage, I'm thinking to myself, why did I get out of bed this morning? I looked out the curtain and saw 3,000 people, asshole to elbow, rocking out to these awesome local bands. And here I come, and there's Chris and his drunk friend. His soon-to-be ex-wife is in the bathroom yakking her lungs out, and the friends and families of these other bands are hanging around to watch us. It was fucking funnier than shit. 2 weeks later, same venue, I went and saw Yngwie Malmsteen, who, if you don't know who Yngwie Malmsteen is, I'm not surprised, packed the joint. Nobody moved. They wanted to see Yngwie.
I say Winger was the actual winner of the night.
They made the money?
He got full money and only had to impress 300 fucking people.
Well, 297, we left early.
You know what I
because
mean? I'm
Stephanie
just
was
saying,
sick.
like, he didn't have to make it 3,000 rock. There's only 300 left. He only had to make half of that happy, and he went home. I'm good.
Right? Then the one drunk guy in the corner, play the hit.
If they're staying, they're fans, so everybody's happy. I'm good.
Did they buy the merch?
You know?
I bought
No?
a CD that night. It wasn't a bad album either.
Done.
A little grungy for my taste, but is what it is. Wow, the shit we put up with, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
You got anything funny? You got anything funny to talk about? We got a little bit of time left.
All right, so I'm watching TV kind of half-heartedly the other day, and I peek up at the TV, and there's a yellow star, and I'm like, all right, cool. It's the yellow star. So I'm like, it's Carl's commercial.
Okay.
And the next thing I know, I'm seeing a young lady in full battle gear, and there's a tank turret moving, and it's calling out like targeting coordinates, and the tank is firing, and I'm sitting there like, what the fuck kind of hamburger commercial is this? I keep waiting for him to switch to be like, and then next thing you know, they're eating. It's like, good job, soldier. And I'm looking, and I'm waiting, and I'm waiting, and I'm waiting. And then up on the screen, it flashes. It's a commercial for the Army, but all I saw was a gold star and that's all they show on the screen. So I'm watching the Army commercial, and I'm like, where the fuck is the cheeseburger, man? And I looked at my wife, and I told her, I was like, I'm sorry, I'm a little fucked up right now. She's like, what? Well, I said, well, you saw the gold star, right? Yeah. It's like, I totally thought that was a fucking Carl's commercial.
Join the Army and get a free double bacon cheeseburger.
And get the Diablo burger when you enlist. Yeah, so between my eyesight and half-heartedly, yeah, there it is. I was like, what the fuck does a tank have to do with my cheeseburger?
Oh my Lord, what is wrong with this person?
That's
the first sign of getting old, bro, right there.
I'm like, what is going on?
Oh my Lord. Look, I have nothing left. I really don't. I'm dog ass tired. I got beaten like a rented mule today. Looking forward to tomorrow. Looking forward to not only work, but Speedway. Getting back to my regular schedule of things that I do, not having to worry about 758 dogs trying to invade my personal space every 35 seconds. You thought your dogs loved me. Well, at least one. Lynch's dogs could not leave me alone. I could not get up to go to the bathroom without all four of them jumping up and thinking, hey, where are you going? What are you doing? Are you moving? Where are you moving to? Are you going to the kitchen? You going to the bathroom? Where are you going? Are we getting fed? What's going on? It's like personal. I must have yelled personal space 6,000 times this weekend.
Well, that's Walter. Walter is a shepherd. He's a herder. So when you get up and move, he walks you everywhere you go. If you get up and go to the bathroom, he walks you to the bathroom, and he sits there. And then when you walk back, he walks you back. When it's time to go to the bathroom, he tells you, and he meets you in the living room, and then he walks you through the house as you walk him to the door. He's very herdy.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Let me look up a news. Let me look up, see if there's anything good in the news we can talk about for 18 minutes. I don't want to jip, JIP. I don't want to jip you, the people, out of a full show. So let's see. Ooh, here's one off the AP 1 hour ago. Donald Trump stands to catch jail time if he violates the gag order.
Yes, he's being kind of a dick about it too, and we've seen what happens when he's kind of a dick about it. Oh, also today, the governor signed the new budget, and property values are being lowered for tax reasons 10% this year, and our tax rate is going from 6.8 to 6.6. That's awesome.
Very cool.
My taxes would get lower. I mean, they're not the 42% that they are in Norwich. Good God. Well, the mill rate is 42, and ours is 6.
14 minutes ago, a federal judge in Florida has indefinitely postponed the criminal classified documents trial for former President Donald Trump. The trial is about charges that Trump willfully retained classical national security documents after leaving the White House. But the new ruling from the U.S. District Court Judge Aileen Cannon vacates that the May 20th date set to start and sets a new slate of pretrial proceedings, the latest of which is set for July 22nd, but the trial itself is postponed indefinitely. First things first, good, we're in an election year. This guy is running for president. If he runs for president and you can get him, good, I could give a shit. But he's not the first person to walk out of that White House with classified documents, as we have found out over the years, and he's not going to be the last, unless you actually enforce the rules. If you do that, every living president has to get brought up on charges. Done. It's that simple. It really is that simple. But that's not going to happen. And we know this. What are you looking at, Herm?
Nothing. I got nothing.
You got nothing? All right. What do you say? What do you say we call it a night? 16 minutes. We have given you guys so much extra content over the weeks and months and years that tonight we're tapping out early, and we can.
We can do that.
That's right. So we'll join you next week. Hopefully we'll have a full boat. Lynch will be back. He'll tell you all about his broken toilet seat. Hopefully Marsh will be here, and we'll have a topic. This was fun, though. This was pretty good.
This was good.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna say the MVP of the comment section goes to Cynthia. She lit it up pretty good. So congratulations, Cynthia, for being the MVP of the comment section.
There it is.
And you guys have a fun night.
Judgment falls upon you at first light. I'm the hand of God. I'm the dark Messiah. I'm the vengeful one. In the blackest moments of a dying world, when a new
You know, if I fucked a porn star, I'm certainly not paying hush money. I'm telling everybody I know.
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of like taken a full page ad out
in USA Today.
Yeah, for a week.
Absolutely.